my beautiful beings. It is me, Bobby B. You are listening to the Tilt and Shift Photography Business Podcast. Thank you for being here. I am sitting here on a winter is trying really hard to winter. It's been a bit trepidatious up here in Canada, at least in southern British Columbia. But today it's looking very wintry. The snow is finally dropping and it's cozy and it's the perfect time to record a podcast. And I also am thinking about next year. I'm now in my cocoon and I am building up for 26. And part of what's happening in 26 is I am going to really focus on individual mentorships. It is very much where my heart is. I love being able to really dive in deep with individual folks. I'm going to open up 2 more mentorships. I have my 2 that I took on in the fall. They'll be finishing up. I'll be taking on 2 more in February. So if that's something that's interesting to you, I'm going to be doing website reviews. And so you can grab a link to that to set up a time with me. Free website reviews in the show notes. I'll have that for you there. On to my guest today. He is, speaking of mentors, he has done his own fair share of mentoring. It's a huge part of his world. He's won a bunch of Fearless Photography awards, and he was one of the top 10 wedding photographers in the world by American Photo magazine. He started as a photojournalist and he went into documentary wedding photography, and now he teaches people how to do that. And he's really, really super good at it. He is a really super wonderful human being. And I am just stoked to have him today. It took a little bit of finagling with our schedules, and for him to pop on with me today is a big honor. I've known him for a while. Like, we've danced around each other's circles for a bit, so being able to sit down and have a chat with him face to face is really, really exciting, and I hope it is for you too. He also has a really wonderful name, and as a lover of puns, I am gonna try really hard not to only say puns when I talk with him. Oh, I just find puns so satisfying, but I digress. Welcome to the Tilt and Shift Photography Business Podcast, Mr. Tyler Wirken. Mr. Wirken.
I did this. Is this working?
It is working. Welcome.
Oh my God. Good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
I'm glad I get to see you. I didn't know how this shit works. I was just like...
Well, you're doing a great job already.
Yeah, look at me. No.
Did we both do our hair this morning?
I don't know. Did you?
Yeah.
You went... Yeah.
You just
went
do, like,
this and I went this. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As few hand movements as possible.
That's
funny. Other more important things. Who's that furry fella in the background there?
Oh, where is he at? He's outside.
Yeah.
That's Milo. I'm hoping.
Milo.
Oh, why am I echoing?
You're doing, what's it called, a Milton shift? Is that the photographic term of like the sideways perspective?
Oh yeah, well it's because it's just crooked and I don't give a shit.
Perfect. I like it.
I sound like
it's artistic, Tyler.
Yeah, it is. No, so I have an iMac and it's an old. Hold on, Pam. He's at the door. Thanks. Okay, so I have a old iMac that I refuse to upgrade and the camera sucks. So I bought one of these external ones. Yeah. And the only way to mount it, do you know what a magic arm is? A Bogan magic arm? I
can guess.
It has a big, it has a big thing right here and you can twist and mount cameras in places.
Yeah.
And so I mounted it to the back of the iMac in a hurry the other day. Yeah. And so then that's why it's like that. So.
Yeah. I mean, whatever your process is, Tyler.
Yeah. I'm glad that you think it's creative because it's not.
Well, isn't that where lots of creativity comes from? Is like just like a little mistake, like someone's not quite paying attention, and then you're like, oh, that actually looks pretty cool. You're
the only one to ever say anything, so I'm wondering if other people like I Like, is this
How long has it been like this, Tyler?
a long time? Does this guy live on a cruise ship? You know, like, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway.
So, constantly listing.
Yeah. Constantly listening.
It's a little metaphor for life as well, right? We're all a
God,
little
yeah,
off
for
kilter
sure.
right now, aren't we?
How are things? Where are you?
I'm in southern British Columbia,
Okay.
Canada.
Yeah.
And you're in Kansas, right?
Missouri, technically. Missouri, technically. That's the hard part. Kansas City is in Missouri.
Oh yeah, didn't Trump teach us about that?
Yes. I have a shirt. That has a picture of Missouri, and it says, "The great state of Kansas." Yeah. Like an idiot. Anyway. Yeah.
We digress.
We digress. We can't go down that rabbit hole.
We can't. We're not gonna. That's not what the Tilt and Shift podcast. Hey, also, Tilt and Shift. So, even another reason for an excellent shift in your camera. You were just doing this in the theme of my title.
Yeah. Yeah. If I could just put myself sort of out of focus, right? Then that would.
Totally.
I did that for you. And
Thank you.
And I forgot that I did, and that's why I didn't say anything until just.
You're a generous man.
I know I am. I know I am. Well, this is great. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I can talk for hours, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, me too. I love chatting with people. This whole podcast is really just a vehicle with which to meet people.
Yeah.
And to talk with them and ask them questions. Like that is the
great.
purpose of it.
I love it.
Yeah.
And how long you been doing it?
I think I'm going into my third year.
Oh wow. Look at you.
Yeah, I have about close to 90 episodes now, I think.
No shit.
I was trying to do something overly cumbersome in the beginning. Like I interview people and then I create kind of coaching prompts from the conversation that we had. So if someone brings up something interesting about, and they always do, about their methods or how they came to be in a certain place or achieve some sort of success or goal, then I create homework that people can work on to simulate or at least open their mind in that direction. So I was doing a Tyler Wirken episode 1, and then I would do Bobby coaching from Tyler's episode 1.1, and I did that for a while, and I'm just like, why am I doing this? It's making my life really difficult.
Too hard.
So yeah. So
Too
now it's
hard.
just episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to do that like my bio. I got to go the KISS method, right?
That's right. You got to keep it simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about that. Why do you do that?
Why do I do
Why
that?
do you keep it simple? Yeah.
Because yeah, my dad would always say that, just keep it simple. But I overthink everything, right? I'm a chronic overthinker. So I think I just need to you're doing too much,
Yeah.
and I'm still
Settle down, Tyler.
Yeah. Settle down. And I still don't fully live by that ideology. You know what I mean? But
where is it most difficult for you, do you find, to keep it simple?
That's a good question. I think when I get obsessed with something or building, I do a lot of building of cars and things like that.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a big Land Rover fanatic.
Oh,
right. And so I don't keep that very simple. I overthink it, and you're just all right. The room I'm in, I built this during COVID, and it's it's not super simple in some ways, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But I do use it in my photography because
in your work.
Yeah, I just I don't overthink that much, which is funny.
Yes.
So
yeah, I wonder. What have you always kept it simple in your work, or was that something that you had to learn?
So I don't, and I always get my wife Pam gets mad at me when I say this, but I don't.
Pam, don't listen.
I don't. Yeah. I don't consider myself a very intelligent person, a very smart, air quotes, smart person, right?
Okay.
Because
I can see why Pam would discourage you from saying that.
I know that, but this is my self-deprecating thing.
Okay.
Because I don't know, school was extremely difficult for me. The only A I got in my entire school career was in advanced photo in college,
Oh, wow.
and it was an A- at that, right? But
Yeah.
it's the only A I've ever got, right? So
Okay.
I don't keep track of things, or I don't use big words and all that kind of stuff. So I think I just like simplifying things just
Yeah.
helps me, and it helps me especially in the work. It helps me concentrate on what's in front of me. So I just like to
Yeah.
keep the process simple, you know.
Okay.
I drive simple cars, like even though they break all the time because they're Land Rovers, but
But you
like
can fix them.
yeah, I can fix them. But
Yeah.
like I don't like complicated things, Like I don't want to upgrade my computer, my 2014 computer, because I don't want to deal with all the complicated crap, right?
I agree.
Yeah, I
I
want my
agree.
car. I don't want my car telling me putting the brakes on for me, or
I hate it.
I hate it. I hate
I
it.
hate it.
It's like I just want a simple. I want to get in my truck. My one Land Rover that I have had for years has roll up windows, right? I mean, like I just want to keep it simple, you know.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
have notifications on my phone because I don't
Oh,
want
no,
that.
me neither.
I don't want that crap. I just want it simple, So anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Well, I think that's kind of where we get so tripped up in thinking that we're making things more simple with these technologies.
it's not.
And it's not. I have a friend, she has a Tesla. She was driving to a wedding. She got a flat tire. Teslas don't have spares.
Jesus Christ.
So what did they do? I think it had like some sort of like, you put in like a bit of filler or something, but that obviously doesn't help you if you blessed a sidewall,
Yeah.
right? Like it only works if
Yeah.
it's within the tread.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for whatever pittance of tire repair kit they had in the car didn't work. And so there's a lot of places in BC where you're driving for hours and there's
Sure.
no service and
Sure.
there's no repair places, and
Yeah.
it's a long weekend, of course.
Yeah.
So it took them literally a week to get their car to a major center, which would be Calgary, which was like 8 hours from where the wedding was, to fix a friggin' tire.
It's ridiculous.
Like, oh, I would have lost my
It
mind.
doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any
No.
sense, and somehow
No.
this is more simple.
Yeah. Yeah. It's better, right?
Oh my,
This is making sense. Yeah. I'm currently driving a 2004
yeah.
vehicle, right? And I'm just like, and I drove one of our friends. We all went to dinner tonight, and she's like, man, this is so nice. Like I have the tape player adapter that goes in so you can play it through your phone, right? Like you can
Yeah.
still buy those, by the way, on Amazon,
Oh, wow.
from the '90s. Yeah, there's only one
Yeah.
person. There's only one option, but
But all the kids want it now.
yeah, right. I mean, so it's just like I just simplify things. Yeah, exactly. That's a horrible
Yeah.
story. Yeesh.
No, it's a great story.
Well, I mean, your Tesla situation is like ridiculous,
My
right?
God.
Yeah, no
My
spare.
God.
Yeah.
No spare. I changed my own tire. I have to tell you this because I'm so freaking proud of myself.
Yeah. Not that
Like,
hard, is it?
it's not that hard.
It's not that hard. Yeah.
I've been driving for decades. This was my first flat. And it happened, yeah,
Was it
decades.
while you
I've
were
never-
driving, and did you come out and then see it?
You know what happened, Tyler? I was driving like I was trying to get to a trailhead and there was construction and I was like 3 hours late and I finally pull in to the trailhead like it was like 2 o'clock in the morning and I open the door and I can hear this whooshing and I thought it was the waterfall because I was going to a trailhead with a waterfall.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, that's not the waterfall. That is my tire.
Sure.
So I'd gotten a shiv in the sidewall, which is why I just sidewalls. I'm like, there's no way, I can't fix this.
Yeah.
So I just went to sleep, and then I'll fix this in the morning, and it took me 20 minutes. Like
Because you had a spare, first of all.
I had a spare because I had a spare.
The hardest
Like, I
part's
was
just
really
getting the lug nuts loose. That's the hardest part, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and that wasn't even. I was all right. Just a little warm up exercise in the morning.
See, look at now you're on your way, and then you'll be like me, where you rebuild cars completely and rebuild engines, and yeah.
Well, it's kind of creating this like forced reliance, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Because my first worry was like, I don't know how to do this, and I didn't have service. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to figure it out because nobody's coming, and I can't get anywhere. Like the nearest place is probably like, it's like 20 miles to the, or like, it's probably like 15 kilometers to the highway, and then that is, 20 or 30 miles from anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had to figure it out, and it wasn't that hard. I had always wondered what this one hole in my bumper was for.
Yeah. It's to drop the spare down.
Yeah, it's to drop the spare. So that's what took me the longest. Is
I
like
know. No,
figuring out,
actually,
like,
is it a
oh,
Toyota?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Those are the hardest. Like, you're just like,
yeah. It's a
why do we have, I mean, yeah.
What
Why do
is
we have to
this?
do this? And then
But it's a good system. It worked really well.
it
Like,
does, but then the old tire, the one that's got the problem, the flat tire,
yeah,
is all
yeah,
usually like all dirty and crap, and then you got to get it underneath there, and it's like, man, what a
yeah,
pain in the ass.
yeah. I was very dirty after, for
Yes,
sure.
yes,
But I have like a plastic like insert in my back.
yeah.
Because what I did was I opened up the back and I took all my stuff out because I was expecting the spare to be like in the back, like under the
And you're just
under
like,
that thing you lift up.
yeah.
And I'm like, where's the spare? So
All the tools
that
are
was my
here. All the tools are here, but the tire's not. Yeah.
tires.
Yeah, I think I love what you just said. I'm gonna write that down because I've never actually had the word. See, I'm not smart enough to come up with the words for it, but that forced. What did you say?
Forced compliance.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
that's. Did you say compliance? Or did you say resilience? No, what did you say? No.
Compliance. I said forced compliance. Yeah.
Well, but that like resiliency that goes into putting yourself in those situations, right? Like you have to
Right.
figure it out, and that forced, because like my kids drive old Land Rovers,
Yeah.
and like my son, he's in college, he has to like monitor the temperature with a digital temperature gauge, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, he came home, and I was like, dude, I know this is ridiculous. You got to do this. And we have to like put cardboard in the front of his radiator because whatever, it doesn't matter. And so I'm just like, hey, watch it on the way back. If you have to stop, here's a screwdriver, you can take that out, whatever. And I'm like, you know what? That's good though. We're teaching them that
Yes.
forced compliance. See that?
Well, I mean, it goes both ways, right? So it's forced compliance that we are being forced to like keep up with these technologies
Yes.
when we don't want to.
Yeah.
And then it's forced reliance when you don't, like when you're
Well,
in a
I think
situation
that's what I
where
love
you
about it, right? I love, and this is a thing that I talk to so many people about, but and they also with like, especially in like the wedding work, when I talk to couples, I'm like, I'm a huge fan of manageable adversity. I
Yes.
love it.
Yes.
Like, I love it.
Agreed.
If I go on a car trip or a Land Rover trip and nothing goes wrong, I don't have
Boring.
nearly as much fun,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Because look, you're like kind of freaking out there. You're like, what the hell am I going to do? But now now you feel very good. That
Yeah, you walk away like the adrenaline rush you get from like fixing something or like
Yeah.
getting yourself
Yeah.
into and out of
Yes.
a situation
Yes.
with that
Fantastic. It's like it's just like
it
it's
feels
amazing.
so good.
It's a great
Yeah.
feeling, and you'd have a story, right?
Yeah.
And so, if nothing memorable in my life was easy, or nothing easy in my life was memorable, right? It was always
Yeah.
the hard things, and I learned that from my dad as well, right? Like, it's just like we go on. This is his first car he ever owned. That is an Austin Healey that we still have, right?
Oh, wow.
And that's me and my
Adorable.
18-year-old son driving it this past May, right? So, but he's like, every time we go on a trip or whatever, or he goes on a trip with the car, and I was growing up and I didn't go with him, whatever. How was it? He goes, it's fine. Nothing went wrong though. Like,
Yeah.
like that's what it's all about.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very
Anyway,
true.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love that. What's the this is a good question. In your photography career, what's one of the things that comes to mind when you think of things that have gone wrong? So like what's kind of one of the bigger things that have gone wrong for you in your
You mean like something I was shooting?
whatever comes to mind. Whether you're shooting or if it's in your business or yeah, like something that kind of went really sideways and you had to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, business wise, nothing really comes to mind because it always kind of goes sideways, right? Like it's
Hence the tilt.
yeah, it's like yeah, exactly. Um, no, I mean, like I have so many stories of like shooting,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
weddings
yeah.
and stuff, whatever, and they're just simple things like this one of the recent ones a few years ago. This bride, like in my couples, like they are not like they're not your typical couple that but all she wanted was this garden reception outside. You've been there. Every wedding photographer's been there.
Yeah.
And it's not like I had to figure it out because I have to figure things out all the time, right? But it was more, I think what's interesting about it is it's more the way that you as a I did or you as a photographer react to it, right? Like because I think that that's the manageable adversity part where it's like
Yeah.
I don't give a crap. I don't care at all what's happening.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's raining. I don't care if it's sideways. I don't care if you have to change everything up. I could care less, right?
Yeah.
And I think that like the way you look at that stuff in life is what affects how you figure it out, right? Because
Yes.
because like I walk in and I knew her mom. I had shot portraits of their family for years and her mom basically said to me, because I got there, it's raining, it's gonna be raining all day, I had to move the reception inside, boo hoo, whatever. But I get there and she's like basically like she essentially said, well, I sure hope you can make this look good. It's all on your shoulders. And I'm like, no, it's not.
No.
That's not my job at all, right?
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah.
bride came up to me and she was like all upset and everything. And I'm like, it's gonna be great. It's
Yeah.
gonna be perfectly fine. It's gonna be all, this is all supposed to happen, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I hope you're right. And I'm like, okay. Even if I'm not right, like, what choice do you have, right? So,
Yeah.
and then yes, at every time there has been something go wrong at a wedding that has been quote unquote air quotes again catastrophic. It's
Yeah.
always been the best thing that has happened to that wedding, right?
Yeah.
And so that's how I kind of like that's why I'm like I love it. I love that manageable adversity because it changes up the expectations in life, right? It changes up what you think it's going to be, and then it ends up being way better than you thought because you, just like with your tire, you feel like you did something. You feel like you survived, this
You
this
figured it out.
this huge thing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I mean, like, I've had I have countless stories like that with the vehicles, and right. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I was in Colorado with my Land Rover, and it was just cutting out, running horribly. Fuel pump. It ended up being a bad fuel pump, whatever. And I'm in Aspen, and I called a tow truck to take me to over the hill where I was staying in Leadville, and I sat there for at least 5 hours waiting for it.
Yeah.
And it was like now it's like almost midnight, and I called, and I'm like, and they're like, oh yeah, they're not coming, and I'm like, right. And so
Yeah.
I'm like, what do I do? Like this road I'm about to drive on is sketchy in the daylight. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah. You're up
and
like what? Like
I'm in
14, like
what now?
10,000 feet or something, right?
Oh yeah,
You're
I
like
mean
way
it's
up.
like if I go off the side of this mountain pass,
We'll
there's
never
no
know.
one's gonna find me for days,
Yeah.
right? And so I'm like, what do I do? I got to get to the next town. So I'm like, well, let me try it. And it fires up and she runs, right? And I talked to her the entire time.
Yeah.
I was like patting the dashboard. I'm like, we got this, we got this, we got this. And I got through it. And it was
Yeah.
just like, and I paid attention to it and I paid attention to it, and we got there. And then I had to change fuel pump out in the middle of a parking lot. But
Did you put a nylon in it?
what do you mean?
Like, I remember my dad was a mechanic, and he fuel pumps and carburetors happened a lot. Things go
Yeah.
wrong with those things. He would put like a nylon sock to get whatever was stuck, like if it was a dirty fuel pump. I remember
Oh,
him.
to filter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I just had
You
to.
didn't have any nylons on
No,
hand?
I didn't. I didn't left those at home. But yeah. Anyway, it was, and then as I'm changing the fuel pump out, I realized the reason it went out was because there's a hole, rusted hole in the fuel tank, right? And so
Yeah.
when I took it all apart, then it started leaking fuel in the fuel tank, and now I'm like, well, shit, now I'm screwed, right? And then, but then I go get some stuff
Duct
to
tape.
put on it at some epoxy or whatever, which that didn't hold because I was impatient. So I just drove 12 hours home with a leaking fuel tank.
Leaking fuel.
Yeah, it's fine. It's in the back. It'll just goes down the highway, whatever, right? And it's like, so yeah, you just figure it out.
I was gonna say that's a long ways in the. What were you doing driving you were just going for like a 12-hour drive?
No, well, no, I went to Colorado to go off-roading in the
Oh, okay.
mountains and everything, camping.
Right.
And then I had to drive home 12
Right.
hours with a leaking. So I would park it in places where people didn't see it leaking because they'll freak out. And I
Of
would
course.
and
Tyler.
overnight that night at the hotel that we were at, I just put a gas can underneath it to catch the fuel and put it
Yeah.
back in, and then I drove. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
I
But
can't do
like
that with new cars.
that's what I do. And so when you have a wedding where it's raining or I don't care, like fine,
Yeah.
we're not going to die from this. Like I
Yeah, we are not
guarantee you're not going to.
good on it.
And at the end of the day, you're going to get married, and it's going to be better than you ever imagined because life took over.
Yeah.
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 Anyway,
Yeah, we definitely forget that, right? We think that we can control our lives, and the best things happen when we
Always.
lose control.
Always.
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 It's just
Being-
it's just without fail,
Yeah.
right?
I
And so
agree.
that's why you got to stop. Anyway, yeah, it's all good.
I love that, Tyler. So tell me, you mentioned that there was a big shift in your life at a certain point, and it kind of led you to where you are now. And I'm sure we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But why don't you fill me in on one of the biggest kind of
One of
shifts that
one of the biggest
took over
shifts,
your
huh?
life? Yeah.
Is it a tilt or is it a shift? Right? It could be
Well,
both.
I mean, I feel that tilts become shifts.
Yes, because you're just like, and then you end up,
right. And then you're like, oh my
and then
God,
you end up shifting, right?
that's right.
Well, so I think there's a series of events, and I think it's not just one per se, but like when I think about the way, I'm putting this back, we've already talked about like kind of how I view the world, how I live in the world, right? It's not for everybody. I get it. But I think that like that's what photography is, right? Photography is how you see the world. I mean,
Indeed.
that's as simple as it is, right?
It is.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like as I
What if
tell
I'm not
all,
doing it right, Tyler?
huh?
Well, what if I'm not doing it right?
But there's
You
no
know?
right or yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, what is right? I mean, like, and once I realized that, oh my God, I just thought of another one that I didn't think of before. But I'll tell that in a minute. So when I was younger, David Leeson was he is now passed, but he was a Pulitzer Prize winning photojournalist from Texas, Dallas Morning News. I was actually in his house with a friend, and I was younger, and I was like, all gung ho, I'm gonna be whatever. And I was like, I asked him, I said, hey, when do you plateau, right? Like when are you the best you're ever gonna be? Where you're just like, I got it, I'm here. Like all photographers want to get there, whatever the hell that means, right?
Whatever.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm here. And he goes, wait, well, you never do, right? And because you just keep,
Yeah.
rising, whatever. And then I didn't like that answer. I wanted an answer, right? I wanted like 20 years. That's when it's all, whatever. And then I'm like, okay, fine. I go, how do you get to the next level then? Right? And then he goes, well, it's really simple. And I'm like, this is it. I'm in your living room. I'm going to get the answer that I've always been looking for, right? And he goes, all you got to do is just change the way you see the world.
That's all you got to do.
That's all you got to do. It's that simple. It's that simple.
Yes.
And I was like, I was like, okay, whatever. Hey, you know what?
Whatever, old man.
You know what? Yeah, exactly. You know what? As I got older,
Yeah.
I realized that you can't force that. You cannot force the way you change the world. It only happens with experience. Mm-hmm. And as you get older, you look at things differently. So there's no way you can go like, okay, I'm going to change the way I see the world today.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't do that, right? And so that's the journey, you know? And so that was a pretty awesome little moment for me. But I think it all started with, with I talked about my dad a lot, but it all started with my dad and the way he sees the world. And he's a big kid. He's 85 now. He's still a big kid. There's never a problem. He always just says problems and solutions, like figure it out. Right. And I've learned everything from him. I've even learned how to build pictures without him being a photographer. Right. And so that was where it all kind of started, with this kind of outlook on life. Which didn't become more clear until later in life, when I was like, oh man, he is different. Like he does see things differently. And, like, that song, You've Lost That Love and Feeling.
Yes.
Okay. This just shows you how my dad used to love that song. Right. Yeah. And he legit, and probably still does, thinks the title is You've Got That Love and Feeling. Yeah. For real.
Dad.
Everything's rose-colored glasses. Everything's positive. Yeah. Everything's like, doesn't matter if something goes wrong.
We'll
fix
it out.
Everything's fixable, right? And so it's just like, so that was that. And I, I of course take that with me in everything I do. But I think
we're a constant evolution, right? Like I think in my 20s, I definitely thought that there was a place to get to.
Yeah, 100%.
And there was a writer like that inexperience wants answers, because you're when you go from like the ignorance of or like the blind ignorance of being a teenager, right? Like you think you know everything. And then I found like in my early 20s, I was like, holy shit, I don't know anything. But I want answers because this is really uncomfortable.
This is uncomfortable. I can't wait. I can't wait to figure it out. Yeah.
And then in your 30s, you're sort of like, oh, I'm getting it. Like you start being able to answer some of your own questions, and you start developing like self-efficacy, and like you've been doing this for a while. You've got some experience. Yeah. You've been in a few different scenarios, and so you think you got to figure it out. And then you hit your 40s, and your body starts changing, and your hormones start changing, and maybe like your kids are starting to grow up, and they're like giving you the gears, like. And then in your 40s, you're like, oh, geez, I got a long ways to go. Again, I don't know anything, but I'm cool with it because I know I can figure it out. Right.
Exactly. And I think that, I mean, I just wrote down that inexperience wants answers. I love that because, that's what it is, right? Like, especially with like documentary photography is, I mean, I do so much mentoring and teaching I've done so much of that over the years, and I've worked with so many different people, and I've also studied or analyzed why certain photographers do it certain ways. Yeah. And like, especially in my area, like, the big trend with wedding photography is you spend, 3 or 4 hours running around town on a photo scavenger hunt, taking pictures in front of different things. Right. Yeah. And I'm like,
still happens, eh?
Huh? Why
that
not?
Still happens, eh?
It does. And I'm like, why though? Why are we? It doesn't make any freaking sense at all to me. Like at all to me. And I often wondered, like, is it because they're afraid that nothing's gonna happen good enough, and or they're not good enough to get those moments, that they're gonna miss them, that they know they have the answer to the portrait, because it's the same thing, right? This is really interesting. Is they have the experience that, like, last weekend I took him to this park and I got this picture. Yeah. So I know, I feel better about that.
Yeah.
Whereas,
and so something happened. We went and we did that in that place.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
and I succeeded, right? So I know I can succeed. If I go in not knowing what's going to happen, if I go in, am I going to miss it? Am I going to, whatever? And I'm the complete opposite. And I think I've always kind of been that way, but now I'm even more, where I'm like, I have the experience to know that the photo gods are going to give it to me. Like, life will give me what I need. It might not be what I thought I wanted going in, but it will give me what I need. But I just have to believe in it. I have to believe that the photo gods are at some point going to give me a silver platter picture, but I have to be smart enough and aware enough to see it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ding, ding, ding,
like,
ding, ding.
yeah, like I know it. I know it.
It's
Even
that
though when
trust.
you're in it, you're just like, Jesus,
Oh
shit.
God. I'm on a mountain pass near Leadville.
Yeah, yeah. There's nothing here, right? What's happening, And then,
Yeah.
it might not be a lot, it might be a little, whatever, but it's going to be there if you just keep the faith. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Keep the
Anyway,
faith and the interest, right?
yeah,
Like trust that the photo gods or your perspective, the way you see the world,
it's gonna,
will produce for you,
and it's going to
right?
produce. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of that, we don't talk about that a whole lot in photography, I think. It's just trusting, like being able to trust yourself and like life itself, really, that everything is interesting if you give it enough time.
yeah.
If you like, yeah, I think if you honor it, it will produce.
I might question everything is interesting.
Okay, so here's the thing. I might not find everything interesting, but
No,
someone does, right?
you're
And
right.
that,
You're right. You're right.
yeah,
But like,
and that's the trick, is being
oh god,
interested in what someone else is interested in.
yeah. No, you're right.
And no, if I don't, I'm like, I don't agree with this,
You're right. You're right.
but you
I
like
shot
it.
I shot a freelance job for a local university the other day, and it was a group at the university doing book bedazzling. Okay.
Oh, sounds right up your alley,
Yeah.
Tyler.
Yeah. So I walk in and I go, okay, well, yeah, right.
Yeah,
And so you're right though. But see, I don't know if sometimes with stuff like that, I'm not as great as you, where I'm like, okay, somebody finds this interesting, so what should I find interesting about it? I'm just like, I'm just gonna revolt. I'm just gonna fall back on. I just need to make cool photos,
yeah,
and I'll make cool photos of this, whatever type of thing.
yeah.
But anyway, no, I mean, I think. But see, the thing is that like, that whole like, the photo gods will give me what I need, or my experience, back to that whole thing. The problem is, and the interesting thing that you said was rely on your vision, rely on your what did you say? I
The way that
forgot.
you see the world.
Yeah, the way you see the world, all that kind of stuff. Your aesthetic, any of those kind of things. Well, the problem is with most people, especially in the wedding world that I've worked with, they don't have that yet. And that's where the problem comes in, right?
Yeah.
And that's where ultimately when the getting there thing is you have to go through that process of figuring out who you are as a photographer, which is still, I don't even know exactly how to explain how you do that, right?
Nor do I. I have some ideas, but I
I
think
have some ideas, but yeah, but it's just like it's it starts with yourself, it starts with just trying to be 100% who you are, and then I guess we just hope that's interesting, but
someone. It
yeah,
will be to someone.
it will be to someone. You're absolutely
But
right. Yeah.
this is the bullshit that so many people like it really does come from of a lack of not knowing oneself, and therefore you're not confident in yourself, because you don't. Once you know yourself, you're pretty confident. Like I think that they are not mutually exclusive, but they do work together. There's a big overlap between Like I'm confident in who I am or what I'm able to discover. Like there's like a
Mm-hmm.
self-efficacy there. There's like an understanding that you'll be able to figure it out, or like
Mm-hmm.
this feels familiar. Like I know I can do this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But we're so inundated. Like social media is the scourge of the earth. We're so inundated with what everyone else is doing
Yes.
that we don't experiment, and we don't fuck up, and we don't really allow ourselves to like what we like. Like the reason I'm saying this is like I'm judging a photo competition right now, and you can tell the image opens up, and you can tell that it's someone trying to do something that they saw someone else do,
Yep.
and it's so obvious.
Yes.
Like you're doing this because you saw someone else do it. Like
Mm-hmm.
why aren't I get that you think that that's good and therefore you want to emulate it, but that's not you.
And
Not how you see the world.
that is in yeah, that is inherently the problem, right?
Yeah.
And it's like I often think about that where it's like photography is really interesting to me because you could completely copy somebody's idea and approach and effect and everything completely, like to the T.
Yeah. And
But
sometimes they'll sell it to you.
because you click the button, it's yours,
Right. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like you go to workshops, you go to conferences, and there's those like shoots, right? Where there's like
Yeah. Yeah.
a
Oh yeah, like
model
styled shoots and stuff. Yeah.
style shoots where there's like a model, whatever,
Yeah.
and the person leading the shoot does all the work, right? Finds the location, finds the light, poses the model, right? And
Yeah.
then everybody else just comes up with their cameras, like, and you're just like, it's not your photo.
Yeah.
It's not your
Yeah.
photo. It's not your photo. It's not the what you saw. It's not your concept. And that's but that doesn't. I don't think that happens really anywhere else. I don't know if writers do that. Like isn't that like basically plagiarism? I mean, like,
A really good point. Yeah.
there's no such thing as photographic plagiarism. You know,
Huh. Yeah, I think you're right.
because you have the in what you okay, you have a pencil and you can write, but that no, because it's a machine that spits out the word. I don't know. It's just I think about it often,
Oh, I
and
love that though,
yeah,
because it's just
it's
you're
not your
you're not really a photographer when you're doing that. You're
yeah
just using this machine.
yeah, and so like, and I
To
actually
ruffle some feathers.
I'm gonna ruffle some feathers. Yeah,
No, yeah, yeah,
Be-
yeah.
yeah, it's
Please.
fine. Because I think that it's funny because my son, my oldest son he's obsessed with military aviation and he wants to be a pilot in the Navy and he's working so hard in school, but he's
Oh, the
also like,
navies have pilots? The
yeah, oh
Navy
yeah,
has. Oh,
yeah, because aircraft carriers, you land on aircraft carriers and
oh,
you have jets and cargo planes and all this stuff, right?
oh,
But he's also so his hobby though is aviation photography, right? So he
okay.
plane spotting and goes and finds these, and he's really good. Like
Yeah.
he's really good.
Proud dad.
Yeah, right. And so the other
Yeah.
day he was somewhere, whatever, and he's like, oh yeah, I showed a friend something I shot, and then he shot the same thing, right? And so.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, that happens, man. That happens. It's just, but you're all friends, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like he goes, yeah, but if I did that, I don't know if I would call it my own then. And I'm like, well, that's your approach. I go, but that photographic integrity, right,
Yeah.
behind things,
Um,
like for instance, I do pose portraits at weddings and light them and everything, but I'll be honest, like half the ideas are just ones that I came up that I saw somebody do, but I'm like, I just gotta get them done at the wedding, so I'm gonna put my own spin on it. But I never post those
yeah,
because
me
those aren't
neither.
those aren't mine, right? That wasn't my idea, and so that's why he was like, oh man, and I'm like, well, Alex, you have a different approach to integrity there, the photographic integrity. And I think that's really important. And so like, one of the things that was a shift in my life, whatever, in my work was going to, foundation workshop back in the day. And,
because it was around like what, like 2009? When was the
I
first
went,
one?
okay, so I went in, don't let me forget what I was saying about that
Sorry.
though, but I think I'll come back.
Integrity.
No. I'm really good at forgetting things. I was there. I was a student at Foundation Workshop 2. Okay. So
Okay.
it was started by We Win,
Yeah.
with fearless
Fairly.
photographers and whatever. Yeah. So he started Foundation, and the first one, it was down in Texas, and the first one he did was just a gathering of photographers that like came together and they just kind of like chatted or whatever. I don't know. I would wish I would have loved to be I would have loved to be a fly on the wall and be like, watch what that was. And then the second one, which was the one I went to as a student, was like the first like time he actually did Foundation as Foundation is known for today. And so, I mean, that was huge. That was absolutely huge for me. To the point that like I was on staff ever since, and he stopped doing it in 2018. He was like, I'm going to take a year off, and then COVID happened, and then it just kind of like, and so he got to the point where he's like, I think I'm going to retire from this, right? And we were all of us were on a call, and he's just like, so I said, well, do you even want to do it anymore or something like that? And he goes, nah, not really. He goes, so if any of you want to do it, and I'm like, I'll do it. I just raised my hand because because this workshop needs to survive. It was just such an amazing thing. But like, back to what I was saying, I saw you write your note to remind me. But like, when every time I taught at Foundation, and the idea of Foundation is, it used to be billed as like a photojournalism workshop, like teaching wedding. I used to say, we teach. It's a workshop for wedding photojournalists that have no photojournalism experience, which is about 90% of them. So we teach them how to think and see like photojournalists. Mm-hmm. Well, that was kind of what it was in the beginning. It's always been based on that. I think it's more than that now. And so now that my wife and I are running it, I've been thinking much more about it than I used to, and it goes really deep with people into trying to help them get confidence in their vision, right? Like, I really believe that that's one of the bigger things we try and do. And I say try because you're not gonna come to this workshop and be like, oh, I'm gonna leave confident in my vision. I cannot guarantee that.
It's a process.
Yes, but it's but in order to get them confident in their vision, they need the experience that when taking risks, it pays off. You see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So they need that confidence to then have confidence in their vision. And so the way that I teach it is I will often show them, there's a picture right here. See this picture right here? See this. And I'll walk them through the process. Like, because students shoot a real assignment, right? And so for 2 days, you're in the field for 8 to 10 hours shooting it's like, that could be a barbershop, it could be a family, it could be a farm family, it could be a nonprofit, it could be anything, right? Mm-hmm. And so
Dog show.
Yeah, sure. That'd be awesome if there was one. We've had people, because it takes place in Lawrence, Kansas, which is right up the street, or 45 minutes down the road from me. Now, because when we took it over, I'm like, I can't be going to Texas to try and create this. So Lawrence is an amazingly progressive, like, open-minded, awesome town, super awesome. And so, like, I mean, I had a student from the Netherlands, and she was riding around with a police officer for 2 days in on patrol and stuff, right? So there's all kinds of things. Or somebody is at a bowling alley. I mean, just whatever, right? So they're like real assignments, but I show them a picture. Let's just say this is just me. And because you have to sit there in the field. It's the best on-the-job training, and you have to sit there because you have to also like find a vision, but you also have to know that there are certain things that photographs just need
Yeah.
to work visually, right? I mean, there's just like I always say, God didn't give me different wires than he gave you for your eyes. We all have the same wires, but I've just trained mine to see differently. So everybody's eyes want the same things. They want things in focus. They want it bright. They don't want it cluttered. Those kind of things. So there are some simple photo building techniques that are just kind of standard. So you walk them through that, and then they shoot this picture, and you're like, great, look, it looks awesome, right? And of course it looks awesome because it's like the picture that I like. So I'm gonna, whatever.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to putting the story together, I will not let them use that photo.
Oh. Right?
Yep.
Why do you do that to them, Tyler?
Because I want that integrity, right? Yeah. It's not about the end product, right? It's not about getting the glory of a photo. It's about celebrating who you are. It's celebrating what your vision is. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. That was my idea. I literally did everything, but you just pushed the button, essentially, right?
Yeah.
I literally moved you into position. I literally said, look at the background, look at that. Oh, look over here, watch this, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That
right?
stings.
I know, but I won't. That's me. That's how I do it, because I don't believe in that. I don't believe in just doing things to make it look like I am a certain way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I've done it dozens of times in my career, like made a photo that I thought looked like someone else's. Yeah. And then you do it and you're like, yeah. Like
look how cool look how cool and good I am. Yeah.
Look at how good this is. And then I'll come back to it in a couple of weeks, or I'll put it on my website and I'll see it a little bit later. I'm like, that feels gross. Like it just doesn't it doesn't feel right. Yeah. Sure, I tick some boxes, but you can feel that there's no soul in it. Which is, I think, what I was talking about earlier, like when you can tell when someone's copying something.
Yeah.
There's no soul. And that's one of the very cool things about photography, is that you can feel someone's soul when you look at an image that comes from that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what has got some chills, right? Because that's what it should be about, right? It should be about that. And it's such a slippery slope and so easy, because I mean, honestly, I've done stuff where I don't even know I'm copying somebody that I've been influenced by back in the day, it honestly, even with like teaching techniques, like been around foundation for so long, so many incredible people and incredible teachers, and it has just changed my life in ways that I can't even explain. And I've learned so much. And then I will hear them like maybe say something or teach online, and I'm like, wait, that's my line. And then I'm like, oh wait, maybe it's not. Maybe, And so I have to be honest with myself and be like, oh yeah. So then because I'm always giving people props whenever I'm teaching. I'm like, oh, good friend of mine said this one time. Somebody said this to me one time, because I can't go through life being like, that was my concept, Yeah. But sometimes that happens, and so in photography that happens. Yeah. Right? Where you take a photo, or you make a photo, and you're like, oh wow, this is amazing. I did all that. But it's a slippery slope to kind of have that argument, because all of those past influences are what actually lead you. You have to like steal like an artist, you have to copy in the beginning to find your way, right? And so
I agree. Yes.
And so that's where it gets a little tricky,
That's the 20s.
Yeah.
You're just copying because you think this is the answer.
Yeah.
And then you start to distill it. You get a bit more critical.
And so
and
I want students to have that integrity, that like, you know what? That's not me. I need to figure. And so that's the only way that I think you're going to hold yourself accountable to trying your best to kind of like be authentic to who you are and how you see things, Yes.
And I want to underline this by saying, like, it doesn't, even though it's you, like it doesn't happen naturally. It's something you have to practice.
Yes.
You have to build that relationship and like really get to know yourself and get to know.
How do you practice it?
Ooh, that's such a good question. Um, I find for
What's
me,
the answer?
practicing
What's
it,
the answer to that one, right? Yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah. Why don't you tell us? Do you
No, no,
have
no,
one?
no, no, no. I want you to answer because you just started to. You find what?
Again, I think it's very individual. But I think not judging yourself is the first thing, because
Yep.
once you start judging yourself, you're saying like that's shitty, I can't do that, or
I'm not good enough.
I'm not good enough. Then you close so many doors.
Yep.
Like
Yep. Yep.
of course, like whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. So if
Yeah.
you
Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
yeah. So one, not judging yourself, but you have to look at your work. You have to do your own culling. So many photographers don't do their own culling now. Like you don't learn. You don't learn. There's so many times. So here's one of the way I built one of the points where I was like, oh, I can trust myself. Going through culling and being like, oh shit, I am in the wrong place. I'm in the wrong
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
Please tell me I move. And then a few frames later, there
Please
it is.
tell me I did this. I know. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
moved.
That's why I cull in. Oftentimes I cull in thumbnail view,
Yeah.
right? Because I know that I'm hoping, at least, that by frame 6 I figured it out,
there.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and I think that's huge. And maybe that's the next step. AI, when you do AI culling, AI will be able to critique you afterwards.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Wouldn't that
Right
be
now,
amazing?
it's just
Yeah.
I used AI culling for a bit, but then I really felt a disjointedness for my work.
I can't.
Like
I wouldn't even. I
I'm
can't
like, yeah,
even
I can't do
imagine
that.
how that
I
would
can't do it
work.
anymore.
Honestly, yeah.
No.
But I wouldn't trust it at all. But I think that's awesome. So I love that. I love. Be honest. What you said? You said be honest with yourself. You have to look at your
Not
work.
not judging yourself.
Yeah, the judging, right? So
Yeah.
it's funny because like, and I by the way, I'm gonna like, I try not to be too foundation workshoppy ad
No, no, this is
nauseum.
good.
It's just what is literally like we're getting close to February, which is when it is. We're actually starting. We're actually starting right now. Just had a meeting yesterday with this gal who was a student last year, and she's a marketing genius.
Oh,
And
right
she's
on.
like, I want to help. I want to be a part of this because she's like, this is the most transformative experience I've ever had. And so now we're actually going to start like doing like online stuff and like teaching, and it's we're doing all kinds of stuff anyway. But it's all in my mind, so that's why I'm like, it's like all right here right now. But like it's so serious, right? We take it so serious when we're there, and but we have a lot of fun as well. But
Yeah.
we have to learn to laugh at ourselves. That's another thing. But we take it so seriously. But one of the biggest things that I really want people to understand is the idea of just giving yourself some grace, right? Like, oh my God, people get so hung up on this stuff. And I'm like, it's just photography, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like this should not define you as a person. Okay. You need that push to get better, but just give yourself some grace and just settle into the journey and just understand that you have to continue to work at it. You can't just sit back in your chair and be like, oh, I hope it hits me today.
Yeah.
And like culling, you're right. Culling, cropping, like you learn composition at your desk,
Yeah.
right?
Totally. Yeah.
Not out in the
Yeah,
field
when you get
because
tired of cropping everything, you're like, why don't I just move?
I love that. I love that. I got 2 feet.
I don't have to sit here at this desk and do it. I was
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
using a reflector at a wedding once,
Yeah.
and one of the vendors, like I think she was a caterer or something, she came up to me. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm just like refracting the light a little bit in the lens." And she's like, "Why don't you do that in post?" I'm like, "No,
No.
because I don't want to."
Because I don't want to do it there. I barely want to do it here. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. But yeah, no, yeah. I mean, you're
Yeah.
just like, yeah, because if you want to teach yourself the step one of composition and learn how to look at your backgrounds and your edges first, well, just
Yeah.
pay attention to your cropping. Just crop your pictures later.
Yeah.
The 500th time you crop out something in the top left corner, you're gonna look at that next time in the camera, right? Yeah, yeah,
Agreed. Yeah,
yeah,
good muscle memory teaching, or it's like doing push-ups in
yeah,
gym class when you do
yeah,
something wrong.
yeah, yeah. You're just like, yeah, exactly. And so it's just so funny, but like just everybody gets so like, especially with like even awards, like, that is such a hard
Yeah, it's
subject,
funny, Tyler. I was thinking about this morning. I battle with this a lot. Uh, I've won lots of awards, and it's fun when you get the email. And for what? Like, I
It's
don't
hard.
know.
I know. I
I don't know.
I I I'm always careful with this, right?
Yeah,
Because I'm like, I get it. I totally get it.
yeah,
I get
yeah,
why they're important to kind of push the industry, right?
yeah,
I think that
yeah,
helps with that, right? Um, but I've also seen a lot of students who deal with such an internal like devastation almost sometimes,
hmm,
because it's not happening for them, right? Which I guess is an argument for like, oh well, it's pushing you to keep
yeah.
trying, so I get all that, but yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's a hard discussion.
It's a hard
um
discussion, and I think you can make an image specifically for that award.
yeah, you could. Yeah.
Lots of awards
Hmm.
are very. You're like, oh, this kind of. I'm not going to name any, but this is this kind of an award, or this is
Yeah,
this kind of like they all
sure.
have a vibe, right?
Yeah.
So I've gotten a couple of awards where I was like, I'm going to specifically make
Oh
this,
yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
and so
Hmm.
that's where I kind of dance with, like,
Yeah, I have the same. I mean, I have two. I've done it.
yeah,
I've submitted to awards, and it's like,
yeah,
I mean, hell, I won top 10 wedding photographers in the world for 2013, long time ago, but 2013 from American Photo Magazine, right?
yeah,
And I was just like, oh my god! I mean, that was a big deal to me.
yeah. It is
And
exciting. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about
yeah, it
it.
was
Like,
great, right? But
for
like you
me.
said, he said for what, right? Uh,
Like, did it change your business?
Fuck, hell no.
No.
And maybe I didn't do a good job of like, marketing it, whatever. But
Yeah.
like, I always joke. I'm like, man, I was just like, I couldn't pick up the phone fast enough with all the calls coming in for jobs after I won that award, right? I mean, like,
Afterwards, yeah.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But still on my email signature, I'll tell you that
Yeah.
much. But
I've got it in mind too.
yeah, right. So yeah, it's just it's an
I don't know.
interesting thing, and I think, yeah, I just like, I just want the people out. I guess I bring that up because I want people who might be listening to this,
Yeah.
to that are having that struggle and wanting that use it as the fuel to learn
Hmm.
and to get better and to push yourself. Because even now, like I judge a contest now, and
Uh-huh.
I'm like, holy shit, I couldn't make these photos. Like, I mean, there's some shit coming through that I'm like, damn, like
Incredible. Yeah.
why am I
And
getting
some
it?
like and some I'm like, why did that win?
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. There's those conversations as well. But like just give yourself some grace in that regard. And
I
it
agree.
doesn't, it, your world doesn't, you know, balance on the fact that if you've made it or not, if you win an award, but,
It's not the plateau.
yeah, yeah. I just like, I don't know. I just think that's something that I always think about. Um,
Hmm.
and maybe I have done that because I can't win awards anymore. So maybe I've,
Well, it's always an interesting conversation. I do like to talk to people because we all have different reasons.
yeah,
And it I think for just about everyone, it tickles the self comparison.
it does. Yeah.
It does
You
that
see,
for
I just did
sure.
that. I just did that, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, exactly.
if I
Um,
submitted right now, I don't think I could win. You know,
mhm,
I won
mhm.
back when all the awards first started. I can't win now. You know. Yeah. So maybe it's a defense mechanism when I tell myself everybody else should just give themselves some grace. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you said foundation is coming up in February.
It is.
Someone is listening to this and they're like, they've been
Yes.
itching for some sort of push or
Yes.
encouragement
Yes.
and or
Yes.
perspective shift.
Yes.
They could reach out for sure.
Yeah, it's not your typical workshop. I mean, it's a commitment to come
Yeah,
financially, right? It's not cheap.
it isn't.
Um, but and it takes the guts, you know? I mean, like the amount of people that have known about this for so long. The gal that I talked to you about, her name's Kayla, that she's helping us.
Yeah.
She's known about foundation for 15 years, and she
Yeah.
finally did it last year, right? And she's coming
Okay.
back. She's coming back this year for another round,
Oh,
right?
wow.
Yeah. I want people to understand what it is and to know that they are in the right place, right? To come to it. Because it's not, people are like, I'm not ready for foundation. I'm like, it depends on how. What do you mean by that? Does that mean emotionally, or does that mean photo wise? And they're like, well, photo wise, I haven't been doing it long enough. I'm like, no, it's actually the best time to come, because one of the hardest things we have to do during that week is to try and undo bad habits, right? And so yeah, you want the ones that like really just like take it all in and change fastest is the ones that don't have a lot of bad habits to undo and rewire. And then they're like, oh yeah, this is awesome. This is exactly how to do it. It's like, boom, whatever, right? So,
Right. Yeah.
but I believe in it so much, and I believe in what it can do for people, and we call it the foundation family.
Yeah.
When you join the family, whatever.
Yeah, and if you look at all the people who've been part of the family, there's some heavy hitters in there for
There's
sure.
some heavy hitters in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I bet you if you asked them all what they learned, because like it's always funny, like when you leave foundation, you get dropped back into the regular world.
Yeah.
People are always like, they come home and they're like, their spouse is like, "What'd you learn?" And then you're just like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I do not know.
My brain is mush.
I have no idea what I learned, right? And because it's different for everybody. That's the thing that is so great about it is each person has a different experience because they have
Each
to
person has a different assignment, and
yes.
they each have like a different mentor, right? Or like
No,
there's
no, no,
key
no.
mentors
There's teams. There's teams of when we're sold out. There's 3 teams of 6 people on each team, right? And so each team has 2 teachers, technically a team leader and a mentor. But the team leader just has to do a little bit extra stuff that has been there longer, so they understand all that kind of thing. But and then you pull assignments out of a hat, right, random, and then you go shoot your assignment. And the teachers, this is the cool part, I think, the best part. No workshop does this that I'm aware of. The teachers visit you in the field throughout the day.
Yeah.
And just jump in. We just pop in, right? We just pop in. You never know when we're going to show up because we don't know. We just we just pop in and we're like we just like walk through what's happening in front of us in real time, right? Because these assignments, these subjects are told to ignore us, ignore the photographer, all that kind of stuff, right? And that's also another thing that students have to learn is how to push and pull all that. There's so many lessons, and I always call it foundation magic because something always happens where you could have never thought that this was something that person needed to learn or whatever until you're in the field with them. And I've like been working with people. I mean, Fair Waristi, do you know Fair? Right?
Yeah.
He was a student on my team one year, right? And I'm like, how the shit? What am I going to teach this bastard?
No kidding.
Right? And I'm like, what am I doing? And he shot a dog park actually down in Texas, and he killed it day one. I mean, like these compositions are just like fucking whatever, right? And so I looked at him because I can't just be like, oh, good job, you won. That's not what this is, right? And so I looked at him and I go, well, you did too good. Right? And I'm like, we need to look at, did you ever shoot anything about what these dogs, why these people bring their dogs to a dog park, what they mean to these people? And he's like, no, I didn't look at that. Right. And so I actually sent him back, if I remember right, with a 70-200. Right. And then I'm like, just shoot clean, tight pictures of dogs and humans loving on each other. Right? And like, that's what, so those experiences give me I didn't know he needed to learn that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't know and he said that really helped him, and so it's like, that's the type of stuff that's so great about it. You're just like, I don't know, I don't know
You
what's
don't know
gonna
what you
happen
need.
here. Yeah. Anyway, so it's
I
pretty
love
fun,
it.
but yeah, we're actually going to be doing to kind of launch this new community. We're going to be doing a little free workshop on what it means to see,
Mm.
an online thing, which is going to be cool. And that's going to happen February 18th is when that's going to happen.
Beautiful.
And we're just going to do an online thing and talk about seeing and being seen, essentially, right? Like, not only seeing, like seeing pictures, but also seeing your subject, and
Yeah.
so it's gonna be fun. Well, I'm just
Love
really
it.
excited about the future. I think we're gonna start hitting the ground running, and hopefully,
Well, I'm excited for you, and you can you can sense your enthusiasm, Tyler. This is always what I've loved about you. I took your creative live classes and
yeah.
stuff, and uh, you're just you. You're no nonsense, but you're also very you're very kind and
Thank you.
approachable and enthusiastic. Like you can tell that you love what you're doing, and that
Yeah.
you can tell that you know what you're talking about. Like
I appreciate that.
this isn't coming from a place of ego or
I try not to. Yeah, I try not to. It's hard, but yeah, no, I appreciate that. Right. I've always tried to approach it that way. I've always tried to just like, it's funny, like back in the day, like I used to hear rumors about people would be like, oh, Tyler's mean at critiques or whatever, right? And that affected me, right? Because I'm like,
yeah,
I don't think I'm being mean, right?
yeah,
But like I'm honest,
yeah.
and can that come off as that? Maybe, but
I
but
think
like,
honesty can be misconstrued as meanness if people are not used to being honest with.
yes, and and you know what? Foundation is what really made me who I am today, because so many years of so many teams and students, and it's funny when you go into it with like complete honesty, because that's what we expect from our students at this stuff. I mean, I had a student one time that was like, after her critique, she was like, to be honest, I'm a little disappointed. and I go
Excuse me.
and I go, well, so am I. And but she's like, I thought it'd be tougher, right? And
Yeah,
I'm like, but it doesn't need to be tougher. I go, we told you everything you needed to hear,
yeah,
but we didn't tell it to you in a demeaning way. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Right? Yeah.
Condescending or yeah,
Yeah, condescending, or you shouldn't do this, or what, you know what I mean, right? And so I love those kind of interactions, and I think that being a part of, so like when you asked in the beginning, like, think about some things in your life, like foundation 100% has affected who I am today,
yeah.
because surrounded by all that honesty and all that love and all that intelligence. I mean, like, oh my God, like,
Yeah. Thank you so much. I have loved our conversation.
I have too. I knew it'd be great. I
Okay.
appreciate you. See ya.
Appreciate you too.
Bye.
Bye. I'll just say it flat out. I love that guy. What a gem, a gift to the photography world he is. If the idea of foundation has landed in your lap today because you've been looking for something, this is your message to go. Tyler is incredible, and so are the other leaders that he chooses to work at Foundation with him. I know many photographers who have done Foundation, and they're all wonderful people. So it'll make you stretch, it'll make you grow, it'll make you slightly uncomfortable. I always talk about getting into that zone of discomfort, that orange zone. Get in there, get uncomfortable, because that's where you learn stuff. That's where you build your self-confidence and your self-efficacy and your perspective. We all wonder what makes us different, what makes us shine, what will make us attractive to others, and this is a really, really good way to do it. Take care, my friends. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting this podcast by listening. If you have gotten anything out of today or any of the other episodes, please leave me a review. Reviews are super helpful and they feel nice. All right. Take care of yourself and each other, and